The year was 2347, and humanity had finally reached a new stage in its history. After centuries of exploration, wars, and breakthroughs, Earth was no longer alone. The Galactic Council, a powerful alliance of alien civilizations, had opened its doors to humans. It was a chance for Earth to join the great community of stars. Lena Cross was chosen for an important job. She was Earth's envoy, an ambassador sent to represent humanity at the Galactic Council's headquarters. Lena was calm, smart, and full of courage. She knew the weight of her mission. The eyes of billions were on her. She hoped to build peace, find allies, and bring new opportunities to Earth. The Galactic Council's space station floated silently near a bright blue star. It was a huge structure, shaped like a spiral galaxy, glowing with lights from thousands of windows. Inside, aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through vast halls. Some had wings, some had many eyes, and some looked like creatures from Earth's deepest oceans. But they all shared one thing: a desire to keep peace and order in the galaxy. Lena felt small as she walked through the hall for the first time. The council members gathered in a massive chamber, with tall ceilings and glowing symbols on the walls. She stood on the stage, facing hundreds of representatives. "Greetings, respected members of the Galactic Council," she began. "I am Ambassador Lena Cross, speaking for the people of Earth. We come in peace and seek friendship and cooperation." Her voice was steady and full of hope. The council members nodded politely. Many were curious about humans, a young species compared to their ancient civilizations. Some smiled, but a few faces showed doubt and suspicion. Days passed with talks about trade, culture, and technology. Lena impressed many with her honesty and kindness. Slowly, humans started to gain trust, but not everyone was happy. Some leaders feared that Earth's growing power and bold ideas might change the balance of the galaxy. They whispered in secret meetings, plotting ways to stop the humans before they became too strong. One night, Lena received a message from an unknown source. It was a warning. "They want to stop you. Be careful." Lena was careful, but did not show fear. She believed truth and justice would win. The day of the big council session arrived. It was to be the final meeting to decide Earth's role in the galaxy. The room was filled with tension. Suddenly, the president of the Galactic Council, a tall being named Threx, stood up and made a shocking announcement. "We have found evidence that Ambassador Lena Cross is involved in espionage, spying on council secrets," Threx said loudly. "This is a serious crime. We must act swiftly." Gasps echoed through the hall. Lena was stunned. She stood firm and said, "This is false. I am here to serve peace, not to spy. Show your proof." Threx pointed to glowing screens showing altered images and fake documents. The crowd looked confused and angry. Before Lena could explain, security guards appeared and arrested her. She was taken away to a dark chamber. The council held a quick trial, but it was clear the decision was already made. Lena was sentenced to execution for crimes she did not commit. From Earth, millions watched the live broadcast in horror. The execution was sudden and brutal. The screen went black. Silence fell over Earth. People could not believe their envoy. Their hope for the future was killed in cold blood. In the days that followed, anger grew. Leaders met in secret. Scientists and soldiers prepared. Humanity's spirit burned with a new fire. Vengeance. Earth's greatest minds began to work on a plan to protect their people and demand justice. This was no longer just about peace. It was about survival and respect. Lena Cross became a symbol, not just of tragedy but of humanity's unbreakable will. Her death marked the end of innocence and the beginning of Earth's fight for its place in the stars. The news of Ambassador Lena Cross's execution spread like wildfire across Earth. From small villages to massive cities, people watched the broadcast with disbelief and sorrow. Their envoy, their hope for friendship and peace, was gone. But what followed was not only grief, it was a burning anger that no one could ignore. In government buildings around the world, leaders met urgently. The United Earth Council, formed to unite all nations, gathered in their grand chamber. The room was filled with tension and urgency. President Raj Malhotra stood at the podium. "Friends, the Galactic Council has crossed a line. They have killed our envoy in cold blood. This is not just an attack on Lena Cross, it is an attack on all of humanity. We cannot stay silent." His words were met with nods and murmurs of agreement. For years, Earth had worked to be peaceful and cooperative. But now, humanity faced a choice: accept humiliation or fight for respect. The United Earth Council decided on a bold plan. They called it Vengeance Mode. It was not about revenge for the sake of violence, but about showing the galaxy that humans would not be pushed around. First, Earth scientists worked day and night. They improved weapons, ships, and defense systems. They used advanced technology and combined it with human creativity. Secret research centers developed stealth ships that could avoid detection, and energy weapons powerful enough to disable enemy ships without destroying them. At the same time, Earth's diplomats reached out to other alien races. Many were unhappy with the Galactic Council's rule. Some had suffered under their control or had been ignored. These groups became Earth's secret allies. Among them was the Zenari, a bird-like species known for their speed and sharp minds. Another was the Trilax, a race of strong four-armed beings who had been unfairly taxed by the Council. These allies shared information and helped Earth prepare. On the streets of Earth, ordinary people felt the change too. Soldiers trained harder, engineers worked longer hours, and children listened to stories about Lena Cross, the brave envoy who gave her life for humanity's future. "Her spirit lives in us," said Captain Maya Chen, one of Earth's top pilots. "We will not fail." The Galactic Council had expected Earth to be weak, divided, and afraid. Instead, they saw a planet united by pain and courage. As Earth's preparations continued, secret missions began. Small teams of pilots flew stealth ships beyond Earth's orbit. They gathered intelligence, watched Council movements, and disrupted communication lines. One night, a squadron of human ships, invisible to the enemy's sensors, approached a Council outpost near the star Eldara. The mission was simple but risky. Disable the outpost's communication tower. The operation was quick and precise. Within minutes, the human ship struck the tower with energy pulses that shut down its systems. They left no trace of their presence. Back on Earth, leaders watched the success with pride. It was a message to the Galactic Council. Humanity was awake, aware, and ready. But the Council did not give up. They increased their patrols and tightened security. They called Earth's leaders rebels and dangerous, warning other members to avoid any contact. This only made Earth's determination stronger. Meanwhile, the story of Lena Cross became a symbol across the galaxy. Many alien races, inspired by her bravery and the unfairness of her death, began to question the Council's authority. Secret meetings were held in dark corners of space. Earth's allies grew in number, including smaller planets and star systems that longed for freedom. The Galactic Council's leaders found themselves facing a challenge they had not expected: a united Earth and a growing coalition against their rule. Back on Earth, President Malhotra addressed the people on live broadcast. "Today we stand not only for ourselves, but for all who believe in justice. We will defend our planet and our place in the galaxy. We will honor Lena Cross by never giving up." His speech echoed through homes, schools, and workplaces. It gave hope and strength to millions. The path ahead was dangerous and uncertain, but Earth's heart was strong. Humanity's vengeance was not about hate. It was about respect, survival, and the unbreakable will to protect what they loved. The stars were no longer silent witnesses. They were about to hear Earth's roar. Earth's preparations for Vengeance Mode had been long and careful. The world's best minds and bravest warriors worked together. Now, the moment to act had come. Humanity would show the galaxy its strength, not through endless war, but through smart, powerful strikes that could not be ignored. The Galactic Council's outposts were spread across the stars. These outposts controlled communication, trade routes, and military power. If Earth could weaken these outposts, the Council's grip would loosen. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge of the stealth ship Falcon, ready to lead the first mission. Her crew was small but skilled, pilots, engineers, and tacticians who believed in Earth's cause. "Remember," Maya said, "this is not a fight for destruction. We strike fast, we disable, and we leave. We want the galaxy to see that Earth is serious, but we do not want unnecessary war." The target was a Council communications hub near the star Arcturus. The hub sent and received messages to fleets and outposts far across the galaxy. Shutting it down would cause confusion and delay Council responses. The Falcon moved silently through space, cloaked from all sensors. Inside, tension was high. Everyone knew what was at stake. "Approaching. Target," said Lolnti Ravi Patel, the ship's navigation officer. Maya looked at the holographic map. The Council station was huge and heavily defended. Laser turrets and shield barriers protected it. "Deploy the EMP pulses," Maya ordered. "Aim for the power grid and communication arrays. Disable without destroying." The ship's engineers prepared the electromagnetic pulses, strong bursts of energy designed to knock out electronics temporarily. The Falcon surged forward, weaving through laser fire and dodging defense drones. Maya's team worked with precision. Pulses fired, hitting their marks. The Council hub's lights flickered and then went dark. The silence that followed was powerful. The station's systems were down. "Mission complete. Returning to base," Maya said. As they sped away, the Council fleet scrambled to respond, but the confusion slowed them. Back on Earth, news of the strike spread quickly. Citizens cheered quietly, proud of their military success. But the strike was just the beginning. The Galactic Council responded with anger and fear. They increased patrols, sent warships toward Earth, and tightened security at all outposts. Yet, every move they made only pushed Earth closer to its allies. The Zinari sent swift messenger ships with information about Council patrol routes. The Trelax provided heavy weapons and training. The secret coalition grew stronger. Earth's scientists continued to develop new technology, shields that could absorb energy blasts, weapons that could disable without killing, and communication, jammers that confused enemy sensors. On the political front, Earth's diplomats worked harder. They contacted neutral races, offering friendship and protection. Many welcomed Earth's message, tired of the Council's strict control. Inside the Galactic Council, divisions grew. Some leaders wanted to punish Earth with full force. Others feared that fighting humans would start a war no one could win. Influential council member Lady Ralka of the Vorna species spoke out. "Earth is not just a new player. They are a challenge to our old ways. We must find a way to work with them, or risk losing everything." But the hardliners disagreed. The tension in the council was rising. Meanwhile, Earth's military prepared for the next missions. The Falcon and other stealth ships were ready to strike key targets, disrupting Council operations one by one. Captain Maya Chen felt the weight of responsibility, but also hope. "We fight not just for Earth, but for a fairer galaxy," she told her crew. In the depths of space, the war of silence and speed continued. Each strike was a message. Humanity was no longer a small, weak species. They were a force to be reckoned with. On Earth, the people waited anxiously but proudly. They knew their fight had only just begun. The stars were watching. The galaxy was listening, and Earth was ready to roar. In the weeks after the first strikes, the name Earth was no longer spoken with doubt or pity in the galaxy. Now it carried weight, power, courage, and danger. The Galactic Council had tried to crush a young species, but instead they had awakened a sleeping lion. Still, Earth's leaders knew they could not win this battle alone. The Galactic Council was ancient, rich, and powerful. Earth had bravery, but it needed something more. Friends. In a quiet base hidden beneath the surface of Earth's moon, secret meetings were taking place. Representatives from different alien races arrived silently in small ships, avoiding Council scanners. They came in secret, with careful steps and curious eyes. These were not enemies of Earth. They were potential allies. Among them were the Zinari, a fast and intelligent species, with feathers instead of skin. Their leader, Commander Elven admired humans for their spirit. "You strike with skill," Elven said to Earth General Amina Darzi, "and you speak with honesty. We Zainari value both. We are tired of the Council's control." The Tralax, large four-armed beings, were also there. They had suffered under the Council's heavy taxes and unfair trade rules. Their elder Groktal slammed a strong hand on the table. "Lena Cross spoke to us before her death. She listened to our problems. She promised to help us," Groktal growled. "We will now help her people." More groups joined. The Silent Marine, who controlled star routes in deep space, the wise Eovari, who held secrets about Council technology, and even a few brave members from inside the Council itself, who disagreed with the execution and wanted change. Earth's diplomats worked carefully. They didn't promise power or control. Instead, they offered respect, cooperation, and a future where no species would be treated as lesser. These quiet talks grew into something more powerful: the Free Alliance. The alliance was built on trust, not fear. Each member had a voice. Together, they planned how to resist the Council and protect each other. They shared knowledge, weapons, and intelligence. In one key meeting, Maya Chen, now promoted to Admiral, showed a map of Council territory. Red dots marked supply bases, relay stations, and weapon depots. "With your help," she said to the alien leaders, "we can cut the Council's power without bloodshed. Strike fast. Disable systems. Free worlds." Elven nodded. "If we strike together, the galaxy will see we are not rebels. We are reformers." The Alliance acted quickly. Across space, coordinated missions began. In one system, Tralax warriors captured a mining station that had enslaved smaller races. In another, Zainari ships jammed Council signals, allowing Earth's engineers to steal important data from a weapons lab. But not all missions were smooth. On a frozen moon near the edge of Council space, a Free Alliance team was ambushed by Council hunters. They fought bravely, and though many were lost, they sent a message before the last ship was destroyed. "Mission complete. Data secured. Fight on." That message spread across the galaxy. People saw that the Free Alliance was real. It wasn't just humans anymore. It was a movement. Back on Earth, children learned the names of alien allies. Artists painted murals of Lena Cross beside Elven and Groktal. Songs were sung about freedom and unity. In Council chambers, arguments grew louder. Some members pushed for full war. Others wanted to negotiate. The Council's leader, Threx, became more aggressive. He declared the Free Alliance a virus and ordered blockades on neutral planets. But the galaxy had changed. On one peaceful planet, when Council ships arrived to take control, they were met by local leaders holding flags of Earth and the Free Alliance. "This is not your space anymore," one elder said calmly. "The stars are waking up." Meanwhile, deep in a secret lab on Mars, Earth scientists made a breakthrough. Using stolen Council data, they created a device called the Core Pulse, a powerful energy field that could shut down an entire fleet's engines without harming anyone. It was tested in a controlled mission near Saturn. A small Council patrol entered the area unaware. The Core Pulse activated. All the Council ships froze in place, powerless but unharmed. Earth now had a weapon that could stop a battle before it even began. General Amina smiled when she saw the results. "We don't want war," she said, "but we are no longer afraid of one." The Free Alliance grew stronger. Plans were made for a galaxy-wide summit, where the group would reveal itself fully to the universe. "We will not hide anymore," said Admiral Maya Chen. "It's time for the galaxy to choose." But in the shadows, the Council was preparing too. Threx and his loyalists were planning something dark, something that would shock even the boldest members of the Free Alliance. The future was uncertain. War or peace could come with the next sunrise. But one thing was clear: humanity had allies now. Lena Cross had not died in vain. The stars, once silent, were now full of voices, and Earth stood among them, not as a weak newcomer, but as a leader of something greater. The galaxy was changing. The Free Alliance, led by Earth and its new allies, was no longer a secret. News of their missions, their strength, and their growing numbers had spread throughout star systems far and wide. Many species once loyal to the Galactic Council now questioned their leaders. Fear, doubt, and unrest filled the grand halls of the Council's capital. Threx, the president of the Galactic Council, felt the pressure like never before. His control was slipping. The Council's members were divided. Some urged him to crush Earth and the Free Alliance with force. Others warned that doing so would ignite a war too big to win. In the center of this storm, Threx made a desperate choice. He called for an emergency summit, a meeting of all council members, the Free Alliance, and Earth's representatives. It was the first time such a gathering had ever been called. The goal was clear: to stop the fighting and decide the galaxy's future. Earth's leaders saw the summit as a chance to bring justice for Lena Cross and to reshape the Council's power. General Amina Darzi stood with Admiral Maya Chen and the diplomats in the massive council chamber. The room was filled with tension. Alien leaders in colorful robes and armor whispered in their own languages. The air was thick with history and anger. The summit opened with Threx's voice booming across the chamber. "We face a grave crisis. The Free Alliance's rebellion threatens our peace and order. But war would destroy all we have built. Today, we meet to find a solution." Admiral Maya stepped forward. Her voice was firm but respectful. "Ambassadors and leaders, Earth seeks justice for Ambassador Lena Cross. Her death was a crime. We want not revenge, but fairness, respect, and a new path forward for all species." Maya's words echoed through the hall. Many members looked surprised, some nodding slowly, others scowling. One of the council's oldest leaders, Elder Varnak, spoke next. His voice was low and serious. "Perhaps it is time for change. Too long has the council ruled without listening to its newest members. If we lose Earth, we lose hope for the future." But not everyone agreed. The hardliners, led by Councilor Zet, demanded punishment. "Earth is a threat," Zet said sharply. "Their strikes are attacks on our sovereignty. We cannot forgive betrayal." The debate was fierce and long. Voices rose and some members stormed out. The chamber seemed on the brink of collapse. In a quiet moment, General Amina whispered to Maya, "We must remind them that peace is possible." Maya nodded and stood again, this time calling for a moment of silence to honor Lena Cross. A holographic image of Lena appeared in the center of the chamber, her calm face reminding all of her sacrifice. The room grew quiet. Many members felt the weight of her story. With renewed respect, the leaders agreed to form a special council to investigate the events surrounding Lena's death and to propose reforms. Earth's diplomats pushed for changes in how the Galactic Council operated, demanding equal voices for all members and protection against abuse. Slowly, a new agreement was drafted. It included reparations to Earth, new rules for justice, and shared control over military decisions. Outside the council chambers, the galaxy reacted. Some celebrated the new hope. Others feared the changes would weaken the council's power. Back on Earth, the news was met with cautious optimism. President Raj Malhotra spoke to the people. "We have taken a step toward peace and respect. But we must remain strong and united. Lena Cross's sacrifice reminds us that freedom must always be defended." Meanwhile, the Free Alliance continued to watch the council carefully. They knew the peace was fragile, and that real change would take time. In quiet corners of the galaxy, loyalists to the old council ways planned their next moves. The fight for the galaxy's future was far from over. But for the first time, humanity had a seat at the table. The galaxy was listening, and Earth was ready to lead. The long months of conflict, secret meetings, and tense negotiations had finally brought the galaxy to a turning point. The Galactic Council was no longer the unquestioned ruler of the stars. Instead, a new order was rising, one led by fairness, cooperation, and respect. And Earth stood at its center. After the emergency summit, the reforms agreed upon began to take shape. A new galactic charter was written. It guaranteed equal rights for all member planets and species. The Council would now be a place where even the smallest worlds had a voice. On Earth, the mood was hopeful but cautious. People knew that real peace required work every day, and that old enemies might still try to disrupt the fragile balance. President Raj Malhotra addressed the world in a historic broadcast. Today, we do not celebrate victory over an enemy. Instead, we celebrate the power of unity and justice. Lena Cross's courage showed us the way. Now it is our job to build a galaxy where no one fears death for speaking the truth. In the months that followed, Earth and its allies helped rebuild worlds damaged by years of council control. They shared technology and knowledge, teaching peaceful ways to govern and protect. Admiral Maya Chen was sent on a new mission, not to fight, but to lead a peacekeeping fleet. Her ships patrolled the outer borders, preventing conflicts and ensuring safety for traders and travelers. In a bright hall on the moon, representatives of the Free Alliance met regularly. They shared ideas, solved problems, and reminded each other of the sacrifices that had brought them here. During one meeting, Commander Elven of the Zenari smiled. "We have traveled a long way from fear to friendship. This is only the beginning." Groktal from the Tralax nodded in agreement. "Together, we are stronger than the Council ever was." Even some former Council members joined the new order. They realized that change was necessary for survival, but the galaxy was not without challenges. Some groups refused to accept the new rules and tried to return to old ways. Earth's leaders stayed alert, ready to defend the progress they had made. On a quiet night under the stars that had once witnessed war, Lena Cross's name was spoken again, this time with honor and hope. Her statue stood tall in Earth's capital city, a reminder that courage and truth could change the fate of the universe. Children walked by, asking their parents about the brave woman who had dared to reach for peace. And in their eyes, a new future was born. The galaxy had changed forever. From the ashes of loss and anger, a new dawn was rising, a dawn of hope, unity, and endless possibilities. Earth had shown the universe that even the smallest voice can roar across the stars, and that roar would never be forgotten.